Hey guys, it's Josh from Kdmtuners, and today we are messing with AFE. AFE had asked us to give us our opinion on a couple of their products. One being the Stage 2 cold air intake, and also their new Momentum cold air intake for the Elantra GT, Elantra Sport, the Gen 2 Veloster 1.6 liter, and this might also fit the Forte GT, the ones that just came out. So we'll test fit one of those as well to see if that works out. So today's video is not really going to be about the install per se like we normally do. AFE already has an install video that they have done and did a good job on, so we'll show the install of the intake, but we're not going to get too much into detail on the install. The point of this video is more our opinion from one to the next. We're not getting into dyno results and all that in this video either. They already have results, flow charts and everything for these systems. They came out with a new Momentum system and they're just curious on what the thoughts are between the two. So that's pretty much what this whole video is about, and the way it will work out is we're just going to put the open box, the Stage 2 open box system in the car first, and we're going to go give that a test drive, see what we think about that while we're driving it. We'll come back, we'll put the Momentum system in the car, drive that around, see what we think about it, maybe take a couple temperature measurements and just kind of overall opinion on the intakes and go from there. So without further ado, let's just get into it and see what we got. Alright guys, we're just going to go through here and quickly uninstall this intake we have and put the new one in. So that's a 10mm with an 8mm, 10mm bracket. We'll pull this all apart. Get that coupler off there. And we're going to fit the new AFE system in. And you'll see these rubber little grommets here. These are off of the OEM box, so you guys are going to want to reuse those. So, and they just kind of slide right into this one here. Just pop them right in. This helps with the vibration of the car since it's solid mounted to the car. The engine moves, so if we didn't have these, it'd vibrate the heck out of you. So go ahead and pop those in there. This comes with Loctite too, so you have that return line going back to the valve cover. They want you to put some Loctite. We put a plug in there because we're not going to reuse that. We already have this hose right here. We're going to reuse this. So alright, so just put the intake tube on there. It's going to take a little bit of adjustment getting this in. We found that if you put the filter in the box first, it's a little bit easier to maneuver onto it, but it'll take you a couple of tries to get it. And you'll see I kind of struggle with it a little bit, but all in all, it's not too hard. So you use your 10mm bolts off the stock box. Yep, what he said. There's actually 3 of them that you can reuse. I just used 2. There's a bolt that goes inside the box as well. I didn't use that one. Sometimes you just gotta learn as you go. The rubber seal that we got on this test unit was a little bit short. You guys will see later on. When the one you get won't have that big gap. And there's the gap. So you guys won't have that on the kit that you get. You'll have an actual one that fits. So don't worry about that. Look at that, man. Pure sex in that engine bay. Wow. Looks so good. Let's go give it a test drive. off the bat, the AFE unit that we have, the open box in here, is actually more silent than the intake we had in here prior. Which is open design as well, just your standard 3.5 inch take. By the way, this Elantra is completely stock, so just has our exhaust on it, and that's about it. So there's no power to it, there's no tune on this thing, there's nothing exciting. Over the exhaust at all. Before, with the other system in there, you'd hear the intake just sounding like a rocket ship. Still sounds good though, still has power.
This is a very light whistle.
Yeah.
Probably from that gap.
Maybe. Yeah, so on the intake on this, there's like a slight gap between the hood and that actual the trim piece. So that's probably the sound you're hearing. Otherwise, it's pretty enclosed as it is. But I think this system already is a good system if you want a quiet car. If you want that rocket ship sound where it sounds like you're taking off to the moon, this is not the one. But if you don't want to draw a lot of attention to yourself, you actually want to hear the exhaust note over the intake, which is a common complaint on these cars, I think this kit is actually really nice.
I mean, it's a really nice intake too, so you could run this intake without the box.
Yeah, it's stylish as hell. Yeah, you don't even need to use the box. If you want that sound, you can get the intake and just run the filter right on the tube. And to be honest with you, the plastic intake itself won't heat soak like aluminum will. So a lot of race cars and rally cars use plastic, believe it or not. A company called Air Raid is very well known and have great intakes. They're all plastic, so I really like the plastic over the aluminum myself, just in my personal preference. But alright, so that was a little bit of the open box intake, and you can't really hear much anyways, but we're gonna go ahead and throw on the closed box system real quick, and then we'll go drive that one, see what we think and if we notice a difference. Okay, so first off the bat, coming back, if we were to go around the block on the aluminum intake, you touch the intake and it's hot. You wouldn't, it's just like this, it's hot, touching the bar. I'm touching this intake right now and it is ice cold. I mean, come feel this. It's like cold. It's like, okay, not cold, but you know, even the bottom of it's slightly warm, but I mean, this didn't retain any heat. We didn't drive hard at all, but I mean, even after that little bit of a drive, it should have had some kind of heat to it. So that's pretty impressive already. I like that. Alright, let's switch out this box, put the other box in, take it on a ride. Alright, 8mm, just pop that sucker off, and we're just going to slide the old one off, pop the filter. We're going to reuse the filter and those rubber bushings, so same deal, put the rubber bushings on the box, and we're going to push the filter in and put the box in there. Again, there's 3 bolts holding this in, one's inside the box. We did not use that one again. So, and the closed box system. I mean, do I even need to say anything? Look at that. That thing is sexy. Yep, that rubber plug right there, you can open that up for some extra sound if you want, or you can run another pipe out of that. Alright, there it is. Nice brand new, clean, enclosed AFE intake. This thing is nice. And actually, the taper that they did, they went from like almost a 4-inch intake, and it tapers all the way down in the 2.5 inch, I think, back here. So and the radiuses are they're not too tight, so actually the flow on this should outflow, I would think it would outflow most intakes that we're seeing right now, because most of the intakes we see are like a 3.5 inch that taper right back down into a 2 or the 2.5 inch down here. It's pretty sharp, abrupt cut, 90s that I see a lot of the time. I don't know. Pretty impressed. Let's go test this thing. Well, we got the other intake, the closed system in. Let's go give this a test whirl and see if we notice a difference. I imagine with the closed box system, it'll probably feel a little bit more torquey, but that might be a placebo effect too, so. Okay, so I don't know about you, but I felt like that was a lot more torquey feeling or power than the other one. Does it feel different to you?
No.
No?
But it's even quieter.
I don't hear the intake at all.
You don't hear it. You just hear a slight swoosh.
Dude.
But not a whistle like the other one. So I think it was that gap that was making a whistle.
I cannot hear intake noise at all. And I don't know about you, but I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It just sounds, you hear the exhaust tone, you don't really hear sucking spaceships down like you're going to the moon. With the recirculation valve, well, I have a turbo excess blow-off valve on this, but we actually fitted the, well, what's nice about that is you can use the OEM return line back to the intake. So that's super cool. I kind of like the stealthy sound of not having a blow-off valve super loud too, and you can't even hear the blow-off valve. Everything's just super quiet. Except the exhaust tone is very nice. Drives good, everything just feels great to me. A slight little on the blow-off valve, but that's about it. And I don't know, man. I think I'm kind of a fan of the closed system, to be honest. I don't know. What do you think?
I think they both have their benefits. So I have a completely open system, and I love to hear my turbo noises. But the swishing is a lot. The open box kind of gives you the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You can hear some slight turbo noises, has a small whistle. It's nice. This, if you want to go completely stealth, which I think is devious and fun, it's awesome. And it looks superb under the hood. It looks really, really nice. And it's so well fitted and well designed. And
I agree.
So they both have their benefits. It really just depends on what's good for you. And then again, like we were saying before, you could go back and forth, and you can take the box off completely. And if you're, doing an event or need to quiet it up,
I think I'm on the same page there. The look of the closed system in the engine bay, I think just, I don't know, man, it screams clean. Like everything's just super clean. If I was a police officer and popped the hood, I probably would just be like, damn, that's pretty nice. It's not supposed to be in there, but it looks good. I'll let you go.
it looks like it almost
should belong in there.
Yeah.
It retains all the factory features too, so I don't see why it would be a problem for you guys in states that have carb emissions and whatnot like we do in California. I don't see a police officer giving you too hard of a time on that, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna just not give this intake back and keep it in my car. We just got back from our cruising. We went around twice. The intake tube that was on the car from the first AFE unit, and we left it on the car and just changed out the box, went for another drive. On a normal intake that's an aluminum, it's gonna be, you can't even touch it. So we want to see, we haven't popped the hood yet. We're gonna pop it right now. We're gonna take a reading on it and see what the temperature is and see if it's still cold to the touch, because last time it was. So dude, it's cold. Just to give you guys an idea, 137, 120 manifold here is 102, the blow off tube is 81. So 80 degrees. 83, 82, 81, 80, 70, 75. So it's actually retains the cold temps all the way back to here where it starts getting to 80 degrees. And you screw right over to this, boom, 110. So back in the day, if you had an aluminum pipe here, first of all, I wouldn't be leaning on it like this because it'd be hotter than hell. Because even put my hand here, well, that's not hotter than hell, it's warm. But so I would say the intake's probably hotter than the valve cover. The valve cover's already at 110 right now degrees, and this is it's 20 degrees cooler. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm pretty jazzed about that. I don't know if you guys are, but I am. So I'm keeping this. I like it. All right, guys. So closing remarks on this video. What are our thoughts on the two systems that we did today? One, the open box system that we did was really quite nice as it is. It was silent compared to other intakes or the intake that I had on the car previously, which can be very, very loud, almost like a rocket ship taking off. Some guys really like that sound. For me personally, it's a little bit too much volume. So the first AFE system, the open box, was a little bit, well, actually a lot quieter than the other intakes. But it still had a little bit of intake sound to it. So if you like that sucking intake sound, the open box one might be a direction you want to look. Overall, pretty good intake. The quality is amazing on it. There's no real complaints I'd have about it. The only thing on that one is the seal to the hood. So on original design of that intake was meant so that when you close the hood, it seals completely into a sealed system. So all the air coming into the intake would be coming from the outside. Now that this intake fits multiple platforms, what they were finding is when you close the hood, on some of these cars, it wasn't sealing. On some of these cars, when you close the hood, it was actually hitting too much. So they're having to trim some of the plastic. It just became a problem. So what they did was when you close the hood on any given car now, it leaves about 1/4 of an inch gap around the top where the seal is. So it's not really a sealed system. But it's still an awesome intake as it stands. I think that's kind of where they came in on this new momentum intake, in my opinion. I haven't talked to him about this, but just thinking it through, they wanted a true closed-in cold air intake system. So with all the different style hoods and everything, and the fact that this basically fits your Elantra Sport, Elantra GT, Forte, the new Forte GT, the new Veloster, the second series Veloster, the 1.6 liters. A lot of different hood variations there. They're able to design something that they can put one intake in all these cars and have a true cold air intake. And I think they achieved that. So getting into our final thoughts on that system, the momentum, is wow, really. I'm leaving that one on my car. I love it to death. It just looks beautiful in the car. It almost looks like a factory OEM piece that belongs there. And I love the fact that you cannot hear the intake at all. To me, I like that. It gives you can kind of hear the exhaust tone in the background a little bit more. And not that big sucking whoosh sound that you're getting coming down the street where it sounds like you're about to take off to the moon. So it's very discreet and I really like it. Power wise, it's really hard to tell on the butt dyno on what these are doing. I feel like the car feels better than the other intake that I had, but again, that can just be a placebo thing in my mind. I will say between the two intakes, the open intake and the closed momentum intake, the momentum kind of feels like it might have a little bit more torque to it. I don't know if that's a fact or it's just me again, but it's just how I feel. But all in all, the quality is amazing. There's not one thing that I would scrutinize on the kit or change, really. I think the engineers at AFE did a really good job on this, and I think this one's going to be a hit for them. So this is a good system. It's pretty much, I mean, I wish I had some negative things to say about both of them just to give some kind of context, but really I don't. They're great. Dyno numbers, we didn't get into that today. AFE has already run dynos on both the intake systems. In fact, they do that for every product that they come out with. So the numbers aren't in question here. No numbers question. Flow charts, they have flow charts. They have a lot of information on their website that you guys can go check out. We'll try to put most of that on our website as well for you guys to see. So all the information is there. If you guys want like a really in-depth install video on these, they have that as well on their website. It's very simple install. It probably takes 10-15 minutes to do it. It's very simple. So, but yeah, if you need a video for that, go to their website, check them out. Other than that, we'll have them all uploaded on our website so you guys can purchase them if you want to. You can purchase them straight through AFE. There's a couple other vendors that are selling the intake kits as well. So, but if you have any questions at all, or you guys have any comments, concerns, anything like that, always hit us up, let us know. And again, if you like what we're doing here and like these type of videos, go ahead and like and subscribe, and that helps us out a bunch. And we'll see you on the next video. So thanks for watching, everybody, and take care. See you later.